Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker. Dockers, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Hello, hello. It is Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project. We are bringing you our weekly show / podcast called We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Every week we bring you a guest. Many times we bring a new musician and we share all the good and sometimes the not so good things happening in our world. It is 16 October 2022. We have a couple of amazing guests tonight, you guys. We are going to visit with Chad Hutto. And we are also going to have music with Joey James tonight. Before we get into the show with these awesome guests, we are going to ask that you take off your hats, stand if you can, and cover your hearts. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hello, and good night, good evening, good morning. I don't know, wherever you are. It's one
shock
of those.
and awe.
Wow. Hey, you guys, we got some new people, it looks like, and some old people. Got first time joined, and I'm sorry about your nephew, and that's why we're here. We're here to support you and to try to keep that from happening again, ever, anywhere. And then we've got a People's Patriot Project family greeting as well. So I'm going to put a link on here, and it will allow you to share your name to share your name. Sometimes you don't want to, and that's okay. That'll let you share your name on the comments. Sometimes you want to make new friends, and sometimes you might just want to stay away. Stay away from us.
No one wants to stay away from us.
Look at him. No, well, I mean, they want to stay incognito from us, and that's okay, or from others.
That's true. That is
from you, not from me always, but Peterson's scary.
Be careful. I have new graphics. You don't want the world to see it.
Great. No, you're right. Every time. The
greatest part about being the graphic guy, and Andrea, this has been a fight between me and Andrea. She's like, I don't want any part of it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to do it. That's my line. And that's perfect, because every once in a while I get to play with the graphic materials and make graphics that may or may not represent her as who she really is. And that's really good.
You think
it doesn't work for the podcast though. I mean, they don't get the chance to hear that, but that's all good.
Right.
Look at these guys coming in.
Look at them.
Boom,
we
boom,
got
boom.
Chad Hutto, and we got Joey James. Joey is a returning guest. He's been here before. He is,
and his beard is way longer than what it was when he was here. He's been
big and beautiful.
It is big and beautiful. You keep that thing going, man.
Somebody asked if I'd ever shave. Somebody asked if I'd ever shave it, and I said, "You don't want to see me shaving, so it's all." We're keeping the beard.
Now, if I remember,
even when I'm skinny, I have a double chin.
If I remember right, our contact with Joey James was actually Greater Vets. Isn't that not correct, Joey?
Yeah, Nick Richardson. Yep.
Yeah, good Nick. He shows up every once in a while. Love Nick and the work he's doing up there in Northwest United States with Greater Vets. And so, keep doing the good work, brother.
Yeah, he's doing awesome things.
It sounds
just need to get him
busy.
You know.
Yeah,
he is. It's hard to run nonprofits and this, try to grow them. So I commend him as much. Well, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, right?
100%.
Some people try. Some people try. They do a good job. They put their heart into it. And keep doing it. And if you don't get her done, you know what? And your heart's still in that spot, reach out to the ones that are getting it done.
Ranger with 2 tours in Afghanistan and 1 in Iraq. He wasn't his normal self. I'm gonna plug, and this isn't in our plans, but I've been seeing a lot of Betsy Ross. And she is the author of the Fight series of books. And you guys, I teach 7th and 8th graders and they don't read, but if you're like that, just stop and listen, because they're not super long books, but they are to the quick. And anyone who thinks they understand, or anyone who wants help understanding that whole being gone, being at war, coming back, it's not always being gone, but being military, and sometimes our first responders as well. Her books are amazing, and they really do hit the heart for those who've been there, those who are close to those people, and those who think that, just loving and hugging them can keep them safe and bring them back to normal. And it's not that easy, sadly. I wish it was, but those books are amazing. It's the Fight series with Betsy Ross, and you can order them anywhere. Just Google it. It's on Amazon. I think she just is doing the 5th book right now. So they're amazing books. Amazing. So there you go, Betsy Ross. It's a pleasure to always see her popping
Timothy
up.
Newton is pushing her buttons a little bit, I think. He's pushing her buttons because, like, what up? Nothing's going on this week, right? Yeah. Nothing's going on this week, brother. We'll get into that. Shock and awe. We can put that up there.
Well, wait, I really want to talk to our guests. Can I get the news on really
these
quick?
Guys?
let me get on the news. Yeah,
right.
hang on.
All right.
Let me do this. I got a little bit of things to say first. All right. Well, there's a really good story, and I was going to share it, but it was about the Coast Guard. Oh my gosh. They rescued boaters offshore. I think there were 3 men, and they were being attacked by sharks. This is like my Room 101 freaking nightmare. That's from George Orwell's 1984, if you guys are too young to know that stuff. But their boat capsized, and they were fighting off sharks as the Coast Guard came. Very cool story. I'll put the link up for that. Last week, I focused on some military numbers. This week, I broke it down a little. So first responders, it is estimated that 30% of first responders develop behavioral health conditions, including but not limited to depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, as compared with 20% in the general population. And that doesn't include any military yet. In a study about suicidality, firefighters were reported to have higher attempt and ideation rates than the general population. In law enforcement, the estimates suggest between 125 and 300 police officers commit suicide every year. And, we can't have those exact numbers because some of our insurances and our administrations, they don't like to really give it the label that it is. Protecting the populations. Yeah.
And COVID gets everything. So
right. COVID. Yeah. Right. Protecting the population's health is a vital part of preserving national security and the continuity of critical national functions. However, public health and public safety workers experience a broad range of health and mental health consequences as a result of work-related exposures to natural or human-caused disasters. First responders involved in these occupations are exposed to hazards inherent in the nature of their jobs. Examples include exposure, indirect or direct, to death, grief, injury, pain, or loss, as well as direct exposure to threats to personal safety, long hours of work, frequent shifts and longer shift hours, poor sleep, physical hardships, and other negative experiences. One of the core risk factors for first responders is the pace of their work. First responders are always on the front line, facing highly stressful and risky calls. This tempo can lead to an inability to integrate work experiences. For instance, according to a study, 69% of EMS professionals have never had enough time to recover between traumatic events. And as a result, depression, stress, and post-traumatic stress symptoms, suicidal ideation, and a host of other functional. When they talk about relational conditions, that's every person they're trying to relate it to, loved ones or just neighbors and acquaintances. It's all very hard, and it's all very taxing and takes its toll on all of them. So I wanted to share that this week because some people apparently aren't even aware that exists. And I think that's awkward and weird when we have those conversations. So there you go.
I got
people.
Two things. First thing is you do an amazing job at telling the news, and I appreciate every part of that. You got to find some smaller words because a lot of those words I didn't understand, and you are dealing with military veterans, and so you might need to seven letters is we better get down to 5 letters.
I think 5 probably, okay. Right? Unless it's 5 your letters. Job.
Yep.
I know, inherent, and it's good. I might have borrowed it from like doctor legal speak people too. And it's
so
okay.
One of the things that infuriates me, and I will get to these guys. I'm sorry, Chad, if this is making you wait too long because we want to hear your words of inspiration as well.
You're good, brother.
I have a person in my life just recently, known them for years, and dropped the old. They knew what they were getting into line to me this week. And I'm like, oh, really? And I didn't know when I was going to be able to use that back on them. Well, oddly enough, I have a Gold Star mother working with me as well. And she had one of her weeks where she's missing her child. And I wouldn't call it an episode. She didn't have an episode, but she had a day where it wasn't her day. And I reached back. We were having a kind of a common lunch together, and Gold Star mother wasn't in the office, and this person, she goes, well, what's this person's deal? And I pointed to the picture of her son over her desk, and I said, well, her son died in combat, and today is the day that she's dealing with that. And I did have to drop. They should have thought about that. They knew what was coming. And I'm glad it hit her to the quake. And she's just like, you're jabbing me right now, aren't you? I'm like, 100% I am jabbing you. No one signed up for as a first responder or a service member thinking that they're going to go into combat and that they are going to see some of the stuff that they saw and or lose limbs and or lose lives. No one did that. And so that's my pilgrimage, is to share with the world. We've got amazing people, less than 10% of our society, that decides to lay it on the line for the 90% who lay their big fat heads on the pillows of freedom daily without worrying it. And I'll be nice for the rest of the show now. Thank you. Chad Hutto, how's it going, brother?
Man, if I was any better, there'd be two of me.
Oh my gosh, could we handle two of you?
I can't handle the one of me.
Tell us about your service and tell us what you're doing.
Well, originally from Texas, I live in Colorado now. I had to come to some cooler weather. I got tired of the heat. But I've done a lot of stuff. Honestly, I served in the military for a little while. Due to an injury, I was not able to complete my contract, but I've served in law enforcement. I spent between military, law enforcement, and corrections, I've got about 13 years in with all of that. And I grew up on a big cattle operation in East Texas, and that's pretty much all I've done all my life is cows and wear a uniform, and now I live up here and feel like I'm living retired, but I have a job.
That's a good answer. That means you're in the right spot. Oh, Peterson, we were trying to talk. I didn't do that, just so you know.
Someone did. I didn't do it.
See why I don't do technology stuff?
So, rumor has it you're a comedian. Did that start like in the 8th grade? Because Andrea has a lot of comedians in her 8th grade class. So I'm wondering when it started. What was the inspiration?
I thought she looked familiar.
Laid the law down, I bet.
Actually, what got me into let me back up. When I was about 16 years old, my mom worked at a little convenience store in town, and the guy who owned the store had a record business, so he had a police scanner there. Well, there was a wreck out close to our house, and Mom called immediately to check, make sure it wasn't I took off down there where the wreck was, and the guy that pulled up on it, he was somebody that we've known all our life, Anyway, so I stayed 16 years old. I'm directing traffic. It's right there at the intersection where a construction zone, 4-lane highway goes down to 2 lanes. And anyway, it's they hit head on. The guy in one vehicle was fine. The other lady was hurt. I stayed there and talked to her. The paramedics and all showed up. I said something, I don't remember what it was. I said something that made her laugh. When they put her in the ambulance, she grabbed my hand and said, "Thank you for my mind occupied and making me smile." And I thought, you know what? That's what I want to do. I want to make people smile. And so that's kind of where it started. I actually was working in the oil field in Texas, and we were working, and we went to eat lunch at a restaurant, and we ate, and we were going out. They got the little ice cream machines there. One of the guys, we called him Cat. He filled up the cab of a bulldozer. I mean, he was just a big old feller. And anyway, he got him some ice cream. Well, there was a little woman sitting there that waiting to be seated, and she said, "I believe I want some ice cream too." And I told her, I said, "You eat much of it, you get fat like me." And of course, she chuckled. About that time, Cat walked by, and I said, "You eat more than that, you get that ugly like him. And she fell out. Everybody around her fell out. And Cat, of course, he looked up at me, and she said, "You need to be a comedian." I said, "Ma'am, you are the 10th person in 9 years that has told me that in different states." And she said, "I'm serious." And that's when it kind of started. And I did it from 2008 to 2010 and had to stop doing it and kind of focus on raising a family. And a long years ago friend kind of got me back into it. And one of my best friends was kept after me to get back into it. And I told him, now's not the time. Now's not the time. And well, he actually committed suicide in February 2019. And February 2020, I decided to start doing comedy again. I've got my first album recorded. We just not have got it edited and all that kind of stuff yet. But once it goes out, it's going to be dedicated to my buddy.
Outstanding. And we have a Facebook user, and I think this is what kind of brought. I've heard Chad Hutto before, but I know for sure you're doing a fundraiser for Bobby and Peggy Krutzinger with Operation Texas Strong. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. We're doing that number 12.
I do not know of a person on earth that is more deserving of sainthood, angel wings, halo, and everything other than the Krutzingers. These guys are amazing. If you have not seen their story or seen what they're doing, I don't even know what the number is yet, again, but since January, I know it's somewhere around the 90. These guys have given away 90 RVs for homeless veterans in the southern part of Texas. And it is, well, it's not the southern part of southern part of the United States, because North Texas and South Texas, two different places, and it takes too long to get between the two of them. And I actually know they're in the northern part of Texas, but southern part of the United States. These guys are blowing it up, people. And here's the sad part. The sad part is when we had Bobby on the show, he's not a veteran first responder. That's not the sad part. The sad part is people who have had veteran organizations and or are a veteran won't let Bobby play with them because he's not a veteran. And I'm like, hogwash. You are one of the biggest patriots in this country, brother. You are a first-class guy in my world, and we are going to promote, push, and tell the story of Operation Texas Strong every single chance we get, because these people are doing it. They're that 1% of the 90% that are actually doing it. And Bobby and Peggy, thank you for your mission. And we're excited that Chad is helping you guys with that mission, and that let us know what we can do to help with that too. Okay, Chad?
We'll do it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity they've given me for that. And you saying that, they're not letting him, kind of join the club because he's not a veteran. I want to say this. John Wayne wasn't a veteran either, but I don't remember which president it was, told him not to enlist. I think it's the president. I may be speaking wrong, but somebody high official in the government told him not to enlist because he was the biggest recruiting tool that they had.
So one of our Facebook users here that are coming up are clearly the Krutzingers.
Yep.
And
this one.
We got you guys. We got you.
Over 100 RVs, you guys. Is that crazy?
Since January. That's 100 RVs. No one's doing that. And Bobby, I got to get my notes together. I got a new guy in our network who's a film guy, and he's got some connections. And I mean, we're just going to make you have to work harder. Okay, brother? Sorry. You already work hard. We're going to make you work harder. Okay. We got to build the team that helps Bobby, because I also know he's got RVs all over the country ready to be donated. And we need to find ways to get them to him. So, Chad, give us a minute. Hang tight with us for a second. Let's pull Joey into the conversation because we want him to be part of the show too. Mr. James, how's it been?
Doing good. Yeah. Just chugging along. Trying to work on music.
So it's 4:30 your time, 6:30 our time. It's bright
Yeah.
and sunny. That's not typical for Oregon, is it?
No, it's been weird weather the last couple of years, actually.
All right.
But I enjoy it. It got up to 80 today in October in Oregon is like unheard of.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
October. My goodness.
Yeah. This year is just flying right past.
Are you getting out there and using your craft to swoon the herd?
Yeah, as much as possible. I've really been working on the writing and the production aspects. I've been doing a lot of live shows. The last live show I did was about a couple months ago in Montana. We opened up for Daryl Worley, who's a huge Patriot himself. So it was a great show, and we were able to, send our message out to, veterans and first responders and folks that just need our help. I do a lot of songwriting for that.
That name has been thrown out a lot in the network that we're currently involved with, and we might be seeing that name attached. There's no solid thing, but we might have an opportunity to have him within our presence here in the near future. So we're really
I could probably try to hook you up. I could probably try to help you guys out, get him on there. He's a great person.
Just the right person, right conversation, right relationship makes this stuff happen.
Exactly.
So let's lay down one of your tunes real quick here, just so we can break that ice. And which one do you want to go with right about?
What's that?
Which one do you want to go with right away?
Well, let's go with Another Silent Night.
Got it. Ready to roll. You got a story behind that one?
Yeah, I sure do. So, being a veteran myself of the Navy, I've just met tons of veterans, and you guys kind of touched on it. The PTSD and the suicide rate is crazy. And this song, I've lost a couple friends from suicide, and it originates from that. I feel like this song really speaks to those that are going through some trouble, and hopefully it gets out there enough where I can utilize it and raise funds for folks. So, but that's really the basic of it. Yeah, thanks.
We got Joey James with Another Silent Night.
Back home, where all is safe and sound, where kisses cover gunfire, my children's voices laughing loud, all the pictures in the paper, those medals that I wear. I can't say my feelings, I was a little unprepared, 'cause I lost a little piece of me, I lost a little piece of you, I lost a little piece of heaven from the hell we were going through. I fooled myself for thinking it was all gonna be just fine, and I keep hearing rounds go off, but it's another silent night. Mama said she's proud of me, I can see it in my father's eyes. A firm handshake, hello, they don't know I've died inside. And sitting at the table like nothing's going on, when the war came back with me, I don't know what's going wrong, 'cause I lost a little piece of me, I lost a I fooled myself with thinking it was all gonna be just fine. And I keep hearing rounds go off, but it's another silent night. I'm just taking it day by day, hour by hour in time. Maybe memories disappear, or we lose another life. 'Cause I lost a little piece of me, I lost a little piece of you, I lost a little piece of heaven from the hell we were going through. I fooled myself for thinking it was all gonna be just fine. And I keep hearing rounds go off, but it's another silent night. And I keep hearing rounds go off, but it's another silent night.
Oh, and at some point we're going to have Mr. Hutto do some comedy right after a song like that. So I'm going to tell you, you caught me, and I had my moment kind of a little bit done. I lost a nephew to suicide. That Grady, we wish you're still here, buddy. So this is appropriate at this time because we do it every show, we do it every time. You have one of these. It's too easy. You're sitting here. You're listening. While you're listening, reach out to somebody that you served with or someone you know that has served, either as a first responder and a veteran, and just do a with you, thinking of you. What's up? How's it going? And I'm going to ask you to do it by a 6-pack. Their big fingers don't fit in the screen. We don't need to keep thinking about the pieces we're missing if they're not missing. So reach out to your brothers and sisters. Start a conversation. Start a reunion if need to. And I also have a narrative in my life where my best friend, the person that would have been my best man if he wasn't in a sub for a chunk of time, I was the best man in his wedding. And I completely pooped the bed, and I own it now. But he was going through some stuff, and ultimately the stuff that he was going through ended up costing him his life because I was being bitter about a conversation, and I'd burned a bridge, basically. And then his mom asked me to speak at his funeral, which was, I guess that was my, what do you call it, karma? So if you've got someone like that in your life, it's not worth having that last conversation. Reach out to them, figure it out, let them know you're there. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does, but it's always better if the ball is in their court, not in your court. Thank you for your mission of words, Joey. It's
thanks.
It's needed to be heard.
I'm honored to be writing like that. So it's God's gift.
Outstanding.
Definitely.
So, Chad, can you just go from the hip and make us feel giggly all of a sudden now?
That. Actually, well, I'll say this. Actually had a friend that I did he's releasing his first music album. I actually released it Friday. I hosted the party for him, hosted the show. And he's got a song called Keep the Flag, and he sang that. And then I had to go up and follow that song. And It's like, wow, how that was like, I literally had to shoot up on that one. But yeah, no, well, I'll tell you this. I've been married for 21 years. So, Miss Andrea, I'm sorry but I am taking applications for a mistress, so,
Ooh, 21 years.
that's what I tell everybody. But, if I can ever talk my wife into moving out, I'm gonna try to move Reba or Jennifer Aniston in. I don't know which one yet. Kind of flipping the coin on that.
Both of them are cool.
But I'll tell you what, like Peyton, she was a traditionalist, really. I had to call her first and all this kind of stuff, because this was back in the day. I gave my buddy, who his girlfriend was trying to introduce us, I told him, give her my pager number. Okay, that's how long ago this was. And so anyway, well, he called me back a day or two later and said, hey, dude, you're going to have to call her. She's not going to call you first. I'm like, all right, fine. I did. Our first date was to see the movie Twister. And I'm yet to watch that movie in its entirety since night. But not because of the tornadoes or anything like that. It just brought up some bad memories. But anyway, the second date, she called me. She said, hey, I want to take you out. I want to come pick you up and take you out on our second date. I'm like, okay. So, this woman's been early twice in her life, and that was the day she was born and that day. But about 11 o'clock, mom called me and said, hey, you want to come eat dinner with us? Now, that was lunchtime to most people. Dinner in Texas is about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then supper is about 3, and then you better not be eating after that because Mama done got the kitchen clean. But anyway, so I was like, well, what you having? And she said, well, I got a big old pot of pinto beans, a big old pan of cornbread, and a slab of onion. And anybody that's been in the South at any point in time, if you just drove through, you don't turn down a meal that way. So anyway, there in about, I said, when's it going to be ready? And she said, it's ready now. I said, I'll be there in 10 minutes. So I ate 2 great big old bowls of that stuff, y'all. And I got back home, and about 6 o'clock or so, I felt a real rumbling right down here in the gut region. And I just knew, anyhow, that pain passed, and well, she shows up, supposed to pick me up at 7 o'clock. She shows up at 6:50. Again, the second time in her life she's been early. So at this point of year, it's dark outside and everything. So I go outside, and she opened the door for me. Now, if you're keeping up with it, I'm at red flag number 2. Red flag number 1 was she was going to pick me up. Red flag number 2 is she was early. Now red flag number 3 is she opened the door for me. So I sat down, and that pain came back with a vengeance. And I tell it like this. I had one of them Garth Brooks farts, okay? And if you don't know what a Garth Brooks fart is, we'll just leave it like that. And she had a Ford Probe. I sat down in that thing. I was bottled up in there like that, felt like a fat on a tricycle. And she shut the door, and I mean, it just went. There was no stopping it. When she walks around the car, just as she gets to opening the door, and I test the air, make sure everything's pure. And she sits down, and she said, Mom, Dad, this is Chad. Mom and Dad was in the back seat. I'd never met them.
You might as well get it over right away, I guess.
Well, up until what was it, last year, year before, her dad still called me Thunderbud all the time, and we showed up last year to his house. It was last year. We showed up last year to his house, and of course, when the kids got out, and he's like, "Hey, baby, hey boys, how you? Oh, I see you brought Thunderbud with you." And I think I finally put a stop to it. He hadn't called me that since, but I told him, I said, well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but I'm still sleeping with your daughter.
Oh, yes. There we go.
Oh, yes. See? Winner, winner.
Oh. But yeah, we kind of, she goes to a lot of, she's actually going to be at the show with me down at in Texas next month, and we're looking forward to it. We've heard a lot about these guys. I personally don't know them. I've talked to them on the phone, but we have a connection. A friend of mine that I actually met working in a prison, we worked together, is from that area, and he knows them very well, and they know him very well. So that was a kind of a neat deal, a small world kind of thing.
Amazing people, absolutely amazing people, and actually salt of the earth and put it all out there for others, and they are a model of the way I wish all mankind was. If all mankind was like Bobby and Peggy, we would have absolutely nothing to worry about. We would be sitting outside eating like family dinner, like block party family dinners every night, and everyone would be fed, and there would be no starvation. There would be no one cold. There would be no one without a house, and no one with an empty belly. And that's who these people are. And it's how do you say it? It gives you hope, is what it does. It gives you hope that we're gonna, they're part of our network, but then at the same time we can build something that's like that is capable of doing the mission that we wanted to. And I don't want to steal anything from them, because this is 100% them. 100% them. It's not.
Just add to. We don't have to build. We need to add to and keep it rolling, and that's a part of. So we call our mission "Lighten the Load." That their part is like lighten the major load by giving them a place to stay. Right?
Here's the deal. We lighten the load. Bobby Krutzinger walks up to a person, takes the rucksack off his back, and just gets it down the road.
Yeah, he Supermans the load. He just Supermans.
Yes. Yep. There's our truth. If anyone who's listening, or you know anyone that's listening that has an RV that, and I don't know how he works his magic, but maybe it's on its last leg, or maybe it's not of value to you and your family, or I try to come up with scenarios in my head of why people would give an RV away, and it doesn't matter why they would, but maybe they own one, and it's part of the family trust, so to speak. If you know someone who has an RV they need to get rid of, contact us. We'll contact Bobby, or just contact Bobby Krutzinger with Operation Texas Strong as a whole, and we'll figure out how to get it down there. There is a truth that this works down in the southern states better than it does up here in Minnesota. We just had standing snow already this week on the ground. Don't shake your head. It's what we live with.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's our trauma. Gosh, dang it. It's our trauma.
It was a little bit.
It could be 80 foot of snow and
Yeah, I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass on it.
So awesome. Well, let's share. Okay, let's rip the Band-Aid off. What are we doing this week, Eichmann?
Oh, well, I have conferences Tuesday night and all day Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're thinking about?
A lot of grading, and so 4:00 Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to get in the Jeep that's loaded up with Peterson and his things and head south.
Look, our family has grown a little bit. We have 27 veteran and first responder musicians that are showing up into Nashville to take it over. We are taking over Nashville. It is going to be our domain for 5 days, 5 venues, and we're not stopping there, man. We're not stopping there. This is the last time we're going to do this. I saw someone, and I'm not here to tear you down, brothers and sisters. I saw someone said they were doing a Nashville takeover, and they had 2 artists or 3 artists. I know. Shh. Here we got 27. We're going to come and take it, and we're going to send a message, and we're going to go save some lives. All right, people. Watch us. We will be live in our live streams. Me and Andrea have the blessings of being invited to do the red carpet at the Grand Ole Opry at the Josie Awards. Super excited. We have We've only got like 7 artists that are nominated. We're going to fix that problem for next year. We're going to get 90 artists nominated, but we are going down there initially for Tony Turner, who's up for Vocalist of the Year, Outlaw Country, with Blackwater Shine song that was nominated. We've got him connected with other musicians coming into town. Thank you for being excited. We got Sugar Rose is going to be there. We made sure you're going to get to hear her message through her music. We got Cody Howell. I have to look at the thing.
You got to look at the list because it's long.
I have to look at the picture because if I don't look at the picture, I'll forget somebody. We got Chris Turner, Cody Howell. BJ Leggett reached out to me this week, and he's coming up from Texas. We got newcomers coming in. We got Malachi. We've been trying to get Malachi on here forever, and Malachi Gaskin's going to be there. Sal Gonzalez, Barbara Sim. I talked to her today. She's going to be on stage with us. I already said Chris Turner, Adam Crabtree, new to us. All these are veterans people. Tim Newton, Don Ricks. We got some newcomers, and I don't know necessarily their status. We have some people that are coming that are what we call Patriot players that just want to promote us because they like what we're doing. And so Rob Knowlton, Glenn Keane, and Tammy Jo Dabbs. We've got Adam Martin and the Blackbird Anthem band. Keith Whitley's son. The names keep coming up. Sean Keller, Samantha Kate. And I know that you don't know all these bands and you don't know all these people, but we do. So that's all that matters. That's where we're going. And they're veterans, they're first responders, they're patriots. Joey James, he was invited, but he's in Oregon and he's busy. And
I think I'm going to be there right when you guys are leaving. I think to be recording.
Is that what's
I believe?
Oh, man.
Yeah, early November.
Yeah, probably close then.
So
Yeah.
it's but we'll get you next time, right? We'll do better. And
Yeah, I'm up for that for sure.
And Chad, I talked to pre-show and said, you know what? There's a way that we can do this and offer him a stage and share his craft and just bring it shock and awe. People that are in this to make a difference. And I mean, I'm blessed because of the people that have come and joined us and surrounded us. So, oh.
I'm loving it. You know what? Just think of, so we actually have a lot of entertainers and influencers. When I say a lot, I mean, we have half a dozen right in our fingertips right now that'll be a whole different addition to the show. It's not just music. And so we always promote the healing, the healing part of the music that's created and presented by our veterans and our first responders. And there is a ton of healing in the use of humor as well. And I didn't understand that until I met a couple who are using it that way. And I was like, my gosh, they are much better people.
The super healer, Bobby Henline, the guy that shouldn't be laughing at a freaking thing in life. And he's out there killing it with his laughing at him. And
he calls him, does he go by? Because he calls himself the Crispy Critter.
Yeah, the Crispy Comedian.
Yeah. And it's shocking.
I don't think it's funny. But when he jabs you with his nub and says, hey, touch my nub, and I just like, where do you go with that? Okay, it's
awesome.
But this is why do we do this? And this, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not smart enough to do this, but we have fell on the trifecta effect. This is what happens because I'm going to tell you right now, not all of our veterans sing "Woe is me" PTSD. And again, I'm not minimizing, and some of them are entertaining with a message of life. And I don't know about everyone. Is there anyone that doesn't listen to the radio when they drive down the road? Everyone listens to music, right?
Well, some form of, right? Because some of them have their
Anything.
own little Spotify or their YouTube or
right.
podcasts.
And if you're not
podcasts on it.
And if you're not listening to WeP3 Radio, you're wrong at this time, but that's okay. That wasn't the reason why. It's a nice segue. But, we have amazing people that have been in the mix, and it's therapeutic for them to serve. And so they come and they serve, and we try to take care of them when they do events. This event, I'm going to tell you right now, this event, every one of our musicians is donating their time because they believe in the mission. And I thank all of you. I thank you so much for that, because this is what it allows us to do. It allows us to continue this platform. It allows us to continue to plan and build a bigger network of opportunity for a bigger show where we've taken some of our veterans and first responders on tours, mini shows, and we pay them. Tony Turner is in the house. Just to throw, you don't have to be sorry about nothing, brother. People got to work. You're going to be there. Tony Turner's going to be in the house. Boom. Back to my trifecta, and I'm sorry this is taking so long to explain because I want to get back to Joey James and the song. But trifecta, the musicians are going to come and share their message. The people that need to hear the message are in the crowd. They're being entertained, hear the message, and then it also gives us the platform to reach out to us so that we can accommodate the need that they need at that time or lighten the load. And bottom line, then we get to get this overall exposure for the rest of the world. I'm not smart enough to create it. It's fallen in our laps. It's been amazing. We're going to continue to do it. And here's the deal. Selfishly, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time saving lives. And I get to go eat good food, listen to great music, and I get a hug. Every single one of these people, hug, mushy gushy stuff. I'm not a hugger. I love hugging my people, man. I love knowing that we are family. Chris Turner and BJ Leggett this last week both reached out to me and they're like, I can't wait till you guys are in my space. And I'm like, that is what's called family. I'm excited to meet the people of Greater Vets and go up there. And I've never met Nick, but I know that when we are in each other's presence, I know it's going to be family. And I know that it's just going to be this huge, hey, smoke a stogie, drink a bourbon, eat some food, listen to some music, enjoy life, and save some lives, baby. Save some lives. All right, I did it. Woo! I'm going to take a nap, take a break, and we're going to listen to one more Joey James song. What do you want to go with next as I stutter through that?
Let's I don't want to depress everybody today, so let's do Backwoods Story.
Backwoods Story. Is there anything you want to give us a preview on it?
Not really. Really, this song just about being raised out in the backwoods. You know, I was raised in a little town here in Oregon, so just showcasing a little bit of maybe what country living's about and how we feel, and kind of the old school kickback. You know, I miss those days. So
we need to hook him up with Tim Newton. I think those two. Tim's been on here. I think these guys. They'll kick it together. Here's a little Backwoods Story with Joey James.
Awesome.
I was born and raised on a shotgun land. You gotta take a stand if you're gonna be a man. You take it on the chin and you always look up. Another bad crop and the times get tough. You're praying for rain and you're saying your grace. You follow the word and the good Lord's way. It's a backwoods story of a dirt road man. We never seen you have from working these lands. We don't live in fame and we love our old glory. Another chapter in a backwoods story. A backwoods story. We always open doors, we respect our girls. A good woman's love creates a perfect world. It's good to have neighbors when your tractor breaks down. The harvest don't wait when the sun goes down. You're living on prayers and you're buying on time. 'cause every sweet second is a blessing in life. It's a backwoods story of a dirt road man, when everything you have comes from working these lands. We don't live in fame and we love our old glory. Another chapter in a backwoods story. A backwoods story. Dot on a map that can't always be found, but it's good to have a name in a nameless town. It's a backwoods story of a dirt road man, when everything you have comes from working these lands. We don't live in fame and we love our old glory. Another chapter in. It's a backwoods story of a dirt road man, when everything you have comes from working these lands. We don't live in fame and we love our old glory. Another chapter in a backwoods story. A backwoods story. A backwoods story. A backwoods story. In the backwoods. In the backwoods. In the backwoods.
Oh man, I'm going to tell you, the whole time I was visualizing, we're staying at the Buffalo River Resort, which is owned by Big Vinny,
Big Vinny.
who's part of Trailer Choir, who's part of Big Dog Records, which is totally name dropping right now, but it's and I was just thinking of standing on his porch with the bonfire going and hearing this song going and putting a little boogie in your butt.
I'm honored. Thank you. Yeah. We have great musicians out of Nashville helping me out with all the production and everything. So, you know, we're working with guys like Kent Wells and Buddy Hyatt. And so I'm really blessed, to be honest. This is, you know, the music to me, I tell everybody it's an emotion. So that's how I write. I write a ton. And when we go there in Nashville here in early November, we're actually going to cut 17 more songs. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and we're pitching. We're just writing and pitching and hoping one of the major artists or labels picks up one of my songs. We're getting good feelers out there right now. So I'm really blessed right now, to be honest. Like everything's coming together. I'm able to pick and choose the shows that I want to do in this life, and that's what's important. And you know, and being able to spread the message. My message is always about being neighborly and sharing, because that's what we've lost in this life, to me. You know, like
Amen.
Nobody wants to help anybody anymore.
Amen.
Yep.
This is why this works. This is why this works. And no one's taking anything from everyone. Everyone's giving. And it's a great message, and it fits with what we're doing. And I know that at some point we'll be working with you at some level, at some place or sometime. And you know, I know you're saying, I know it's exciting to think about having a big name sing your song, but like I tell everyone on a daily, go to WeP3 Radio, and I tell you, you will be entertained. We have everything from screamers to opera to country, a lot of country. There's a lot of country in these guys. But we do have rock like Shannon Book. I had two guys, and I have two connections this week, two Metro hard rock groups that are doing some things here in Minnesota. Have never heard of them before. I know that like Travis Partington, Oscar Mike Radio wants to have some harder stuff. I got it coming, brother. I got it coming. This is exciting. Exciting.
It's
Chad
awesome.
Hutto, what's next for you, brother?
Well, right now is just the deal down there in Texas, and that's kind of going to wrap up my year. I'd like to kind of keep the holidays open. If somebody, like local or whatever comes up and wants something, we'll do that. Next year, I kick off February 4th. I'll be in Carthage, Texas, my hometown, doing another show down there. And I actually just spoke with a new agent the other day because my last agent moved and decided they wasn't going to do this anymore. So I'm meeting up with her again, and we're going to get some more stuff going. So everything kind of timed it just right with the change of hands, if you will, and kind of closing out the year. And once we get everything kicked back up, I'll have everything on my website, which is chadhuttocomedy.com, and have everything up on there with the new shows and where we're going and what we're doing, and probably who we're doing it with if they want to be publicized.
Outstanding. Do you have
Joey, I gotta say it, dude.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just telling Joey, man, those two songs are freaking awesome. I'm definitely checking you out. That first one.
Same here. Same here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I dug your story that you were telling about you and your wife. So that's definitely gonna check out your material. That's right up my alley, man. I appreciate that. That's what I feel like if all of us artists were to just support each other, that makes a big difference too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: if you ever need a comedian opener, dude, I'm there. I'm at the Hookers on the Dark Side of Vegas.
Hell yeah! Okay, I'll take you up on that. I'll connect with you after.
Yeah, not that I know anything about the Hookers in Vegas.
What? All right. I was looking for a piece of. I got a stack of notes next to my desk. Say it again, brother.
There was that one time.
What is that one time? I've heard about that. What is that one time?
Oh, well, that's still what I was saying. I didn't know anything about the Hookers in Vegas, but there was that one time.
Yeah.
Tommy Boy. My favorite movie is Tommy Boy. That's when the horrors come in. Oh, wait, I like her idea. Sorry. Oops. It's from a movie. That's not my words.
Is
that Taylor Marie?
Taylor, she's one of my followers that I have. She tagged me and things and stuff like that. So shout out to Taylor.
She's liking it.
Thanks, Taylor.
And Tony Turner's endorsement on the one song. He's usually working or getting ready to go to work at this time at night. So he
stated earlier he was at work.
Yeah. Pops in when he can.
He's a working man. And you'll be able to check Tony Turner out in Nashville.
Work.
What's next for Joey James?
Yeah, so like I had mentioned before, just getting into, we'll be in Nashville on November 4th through the 13th. I'm going to be cutting those 17 songs and just staying busy, really. Like, I still have to pay the bills. I'm not a rich musician yet, unfortunately. So hanging some sheetrock this week and putting insulation in, the fun stuff, So, but I'm trying to navigate out of that, the construction, and go into music full time. Which, talking some funding, investor type people. So we'll see what happens. Absolutely. I feel like things are on the right track for me. And like I said, the platform that you guys give me, it's huge for me. So I appreciate what you guys do for us veterans to be able to get out there and be heard, because you never know who's listening. So I do appreciate you guys a lot, but giving us this platform to do this.
100% truth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to foil your rich statement only because I don't have two dimes to rub together, so to speak. But I feel like I'm the richest human on the face of the earth because of the things that we've been able to do, because of the People's Patriot Project, because
for sure
amazing talent like you guys that come in and have these conversations, and the people that reach out and say, you know what, I just needed to see some positivity. I just needed to hear that other people have gone through what I've gone through. I can tell you right now, 90% of the people who calls the People's Patriot Project for help sit and have a 15-minute conversation with me, and they're like, oh, that's all I needed. I just needed to know that someone was on the other side of the line. And I'm just like, brothers and sisters, hear that message. That's why we do our buddy checks. I promise you, don't look at it loosely in the eye. Make those buddy checks and check out your people, and I promise you, we will be here tomorrow. They will be there tomorrow. And if you think they're the strongest one in the group, you better be reaching out to them, because, oh, my first sergeant, I know first sergeants that who have struggled. They've carried some heavy crap from Vietnam until now. I mean, we just don't have too many previous. Granted, we've been hanging out with some World War II vets lately, so it's been fun and energetic, and so. So let's close on your last song, and then we will see everyone. Everyone's shared their mission. Andrea, what, you got anything in closing?
I just want to thank all the people that are here on the screen with us, and those of you that are watching, because this is what makes it work. And Joey, I stole your words, but I put it in quotation marks. You never know who you will reach. And honestly, that is why we invite the people we invite. That is why we put it on this platform. And that's why we keep doing what we do. You just never know.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Bourbon Battle Buddies, thank you. You've been in our network for about 3 months, and it's been absolutely. Thank you guys. So I want to meet
Bourbon Battle Buddies. That sounds like my type of people.
You do.
Well, check them out on Facebook. They are good people.
Yeah, I'll be connecting with them.
I heard that.
I need some bourbon.
The sooner the better. You betcha.
I'm lost in my little world that I've created here. So our last song is Dear God, Why?
Yeah.
Any stories on that?
Yeah, so that everybody, like I said, everybody's going to think I write sad songs now, I think. No, my friend's mom passed away a few years back, and it was in dedication to her. But what's really happened with this song is it's touched a lot of folks, and I vowed to I'll never take it off my live set. Anytime I do a live show, that will be played. Anytime I come on any show, that's the song I want to, typically end with or showcase, because, with the coronavirus and all of that, and all the, the things happening in this world, we've lost a lot of moms and daughters and grandmas. And so I really feel like this song speaks out and just honors all the, motherly figures out there. And it's really touched a lot of people, and it's just amazing to do the shows and see people come up after you sing a song. And so yeah, that's really the gist of it. But I hope you guys like this one. It's one of my favorites.
I want to remind both, if you have time, don't go anywhere. We'll do post show right after. It'll look like you're off screen, but you're here. Here's Joey James with Dear God, Why? Patriot Pride.
Peace out.
Mother brother's love isn't dying, and self is not denied. No medals are ever given when a single mother survives. They take our pain and anguish and turn it into pride. A mother never gives up, and her memory never dies. But dear God, why do you take her from a place where she belongs? Dear God, why do you need her? What did we do so wrong? You already have your angels, so why do you need mine? I only need one answer. Dear God, why? She kissed our scrapes and bruises, took in our broken hearts, told us you had healed us when our worlds were torn apart. She smiled with all her beauty when our first child was born. So proud to be a grandma, a title she adored. But dear God, why do you take her from a place where she belongs? Dear God, why do you need her? What did we do so wrong? You already have your angels, so why do you need mine? I only need one answer. Dear God, why? I'm heavy in emotion and burdened by my faith. I know she spoke so highly of meeting you one day. But dear God, why do you take her from a place where she belongs? Dear God, why do you need her? What did we do so wrong? You already have your angels, so why do you need mine? I only need one answer. Dear God, why? Dear God, why? Dear God, why?
Fuck off.